The Triple H era continues with Friday Night Smackdown. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling as your Friday Night Smackdown review coming at you from the 12th of August 2022, albeit you're getting the review about, a day and a half later, because shit happens, guys. That is it. Shit happens. But yes, Triple H's era running the WWE continues. It's been about a month now since he's been in charge, since he's taken over for Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And I think you can notice notable differences in the show. I think the shows are different from what they were before, but are they really that much better? Have they really improved that much? In my opinion, not really. There's some weeks where I think they've been good. There's some weeks where I think they've been a bit meh. Tonight, I thought SmackDown was okay. I certainly didn't think it was great. I just think the roster's weak, I don't think it matters who's booking this shit or who's running it or who's deciding it. At the end of the day, there's just so many bums on the show that, the show's not going to be that great. It is what it is. I mean, Triple H could book AEW. It's not going to change the fact that 95% of the roster sucks. So, but I think over time, I do like the fact that Triple H seems to be bringing guys back that were wrongly released. Like, as boring as Karrion Kross is, he's got a cool entrance, he's got a fucking hot wife. I can't imagine that, he doesn't have a place in WWE. They brought back Dexter Lumis, who I thought was great. Should never got rid of him. So I'm excited to see what happens. Hopefully we get Bray Wyatt back. I think that would be the biggest return that we all want, and I think Sasha Banks as well would be a huge gain for WWE if Triple H can talk her back into coming with the company. But I mean, it's early days and there is some different. Let's put it this way: I don't think it's got worse under Triple H. I certainly don't think WWE's got worse under Triple H. I just haven't seen the mega improvements. But what I have seen is the shows have been slightly different, and maybe it's heading in the right direction, but it's not going to change overnight. So we need to be realistic about that. We kick off SmackDown then with a women's tag team tournament bracket. When you look at this bracket, there shouldn't be tag titles for the women. There really shouldn't be. The roster for the women isn't great, especially the tag team roster. The fact that the women have 2 titles, in my opinion, 2 world titles, that's too much. Then you add in, a women's tag team championships, and then NXT have women's tag team championships, yet there's NXT women competing for the Raw and SmackDown Women's Tag Team Chat. It just doesn't make any sense. There's too many belts. There's way too many belts. This tournament should get scrapped. I mean, you look at the 8 teams. Many of these 8 teams are actually teams. None. I mean, who's actually been teaming up? Nobody. It's embarrassing. I wouldn't call these people teams. It's literally people that have just been thrown together out of nowhere. That's not a tag team. Definitely not. Anyway, it was Rodriguez, Aaliyah versus Shotzi and Shia Lee. And you knew who was winning this match. I mean, Shia Lee, I don't think, has ever won a match since she debuted on SmackDown. The Protector. How can she... I mean, she was supposed to be this protector. How can she protect people when she can't protect herself? She can't get a win, for fuck's sake. She sucks. And surprise, she didn't pick up her first win in this match because it was the team of Rodriguez and Aaliyah that won. Natalya and Sonya did get involved in the outside during this match, but the team of Shotzi and Shia Lee and the other team, the 4 of them teamed up to beat down Sonya and Natalya. Really, what was the point of them coming here? But yeah, a win for Rodriguez and Aaliyah. They advanced. Then we got a promo backstage. Well, first off, we got a recap of what happened last week with Karrion Kross's return. Then we got a promo backstage with Karrion Kross. He says the clock is ticking for every superstar in WWE. He done all the talking. Scarlett just stood there looking pretty. I mean, I think Scarlett's a lot better on the mic than Karrion Kross, so I would let her do the talking. I mean, I wouldn't have Karrion Kross on the fucking camera, I would just have him in the background where you can't even see him. Just hide him behind a couple of cardboard boxes and just have Scarlett Bordeaux there naked, and I'm telling you, that'll be the best promo you ever get. But yeah, he talked about ticking time bombs and how McIntyre and Reigns are the chosen ones, but him and Scarlett's like the forgotten toys that were left behind, and some weird shit. I'm just not a big fan of Karrion Kross, and I'm not going to deny his entrance is cool, but outside of the entrance, in the ring, I think he's very, very bland. And yeah, I don't think he's a great promo guy either. So he was saying a lot of stuff here, but in my opinion, this was a lot of mumbo jumbo. Yeah, it wasn't that good. Can't leave these promos for Bray Wyatt. He's the man when it comes to this sort of stuff. So yeah, just leave that for the the specialists, and I don't know, just have Karrion Kross do whatever he wants today. But I mean, it wasn't a bad promo by any means, but well, I didn't think it was that good, if we're being honest. Then we got a package showing how prestigious the history of the Intercontinental Championship is. Basically just showing you all the legends that have held the IC title. Drew McIntyre comes out to the ring. Scarlett interrupts him. She walks down. She gets in the ring. And, I mean, nothing's going to happen here. There's no, man-on-woman violence. So, yeah, you just know this is a dead end. Scarlett's going to get in the ring and Drew can't do anything. There's, an imaginary wall between him and Scarlett. He can't touch Scarlett. There's nothing he can do to Scarlett. So, it's a waste of time. This leads to a distraction for the Usos to ambush Drew. They attack Drew and they beat him down and, 2-on-1. Yeah, the Usos are the big men. Yeah, the bloodline. Roman Reigns is so good that he has to use his cousins to win every single match. And Drew did allude to this in his promo. He was speaking about how he beat Brock Lesnar with his bare fists, whereas every time Roman Reigns has needed to beat Brock Lesnar, he's needed help from Paul Heyman. He's needed help from the Usos. He's needed weapons and stuff like this. So yeah, I mean it is true what Drew McIntyre's saying here. And I think Drew McIntyre really could take the belt off Roman Reigns at Clash of the Castle. Then we move backstage. The Usos are talking with Sami Zayn. Drew McIntyre attacks them both. Then he challenges them to a match. Sami Zayn doesn't do anything. He just runs away and leaves the Usos behind. So that was a bit weird. Sami Zayn is supposed to be the honourable Us, but at the moment he's not doing much to help the bloodline. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sami Zayn gets kicked out at this rate. We then get Ronda Rousey crashing the WWE Clash at the Castle contract signing. I mean, this is one of Ronda Rousey's better promos, 100%. She came out and says that, she got a big fine for WWE, so she empties money out on the table because she says she doubled it because, let's be honest, it's not the last time it's going to happen. And she says being the baddest bitch in the WWE is expensive, but she can afford it. I mean, I thought it was okay. She's then walking to the back and she gets confronted by, I think it was Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler's like, you can't do this sort of stuff. Or was that last week? Who knows? Then Baszler come out. Liv Morgan comes out for the contract signing. Liv Morgan is getting booed. I mean, she sucks anyway to begin with. We all knew Liv Morgan sucked. But the fact that the crowd have turned against her, surely this means her title reign has got to end. She should never have got the belt in the first place, and now she's getting booed by the fans. So I would not be surprised if she loses to Shayna Baszler. I would personally like to see Shayna Baszler win, and then you could do Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey. I think that could be a good match, and I think you could build up a really good rivalry with that. And who knows, maybe we could have Shayna Baszler be the face in that one, and maybe Ronda Rousey could be the heel. You could bring up their MMA careers. Ronda could maybe, belittle Shayna Baszler, say that she had a much better career, that, she had won titles in the UFC, whereas Shayna never really got to that level. But I mean, that would be a lot better than what we're doing with Liv Morgan. But anyway, Liv Morgan calls her the copy. She calls her I forget what it was, but she called her a downgrade on Ronda Rousey. Says she's a crap version, a B version of Ronda Rousey, and she knows she's going to beat her because she beat Ronda twice. Shayna Baszler then attacks her arm, beats her up by the arm, and then Liv Morgan hits her with a bulldog through the table as the contract signing comes to an end. So yeah, I mean, Shayna Baszler beat her up, he worked the arm, and then Liv Morgan got a bit of offense back. Who knows? I mean, I hope Shayna Baszler wins going into the pay-per-view. Liv Morgan's been an absolute disaster as champion. I knew when she got the belt she wasn't ready. She fucking sucks. She does. I'm sorry. She's not very good. But yeah, hopefully Shayna Baszler wins at Clash of the Castle. Then we got a backstage promo from Bethel and Natalya. They say they're going to find out how stretchable Lions and Starks are when they take them on next week. Natalya says she's going to make them tap. Natalya said she made NXT's women's division relevant, blah, 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 because she's the boat. Natalya's just been boring as fuck, as per usual. We then had the Viking Raiders coming out for a one-on-one match. Kofi Kingston attacks him with a kendo stick, but his kendo stick just kind of breaks and he's left without a kendo stick, and then he gets attacked by the Viking Raiders and he pretty much gets beaten up. And I noticed they've changed the name of the Viking Raiders. They're no longer called the Vicious Viking Raiders, the new Vicious Viking Raiders. They're just called the Viking Raiders. And that's a good change there for Triple H, because adding the Vicious Viking Raiders into their name was fucking horrendous. And I'm going to assume that was a Vincent Kennedy McMahon idea. Then we've got Happy Corbin attacking Ricochet backstage. No need to talk about this. Ricochet sucks. Happy Corbin ain't that great. Yeah, this adds nothing to the show. Hit Row returned, beat up a couple of jobbers, then cut a promo. Didn't think it was the best promo from Hit Row, to be fair, but you can tell that at least they've got something. They've got a wee bit of charisma about them. They're energetic. They're definitely beneficial to SmackDown, you know. They're definitely going to benefit SmackDown. They will improve the show, but I think there's a lot of work to be done. Even after the match, it was a bit weird. They had to like reintroduce who they were in case we forgot about them, and it kind of just, you know, it's like some people know who they are, but most people don't. You know, it was kind of weird, if you're being completely honest. Then we get the Maximum Male Models backstage. They're posing. Los Lotharios come in, and Max Dupree's like, yo, this is a closed space, you're going to have to leave. Los Lotharios say that they're the hottest duo in WWE and that they're offering their services. Max Dupree says to them they're not quite up to the standards of Maximum Male Models, and then they're like, oh, you think we were talking to you? And then they kind of just like brushed past Max Dupree, and then they give his sister Maxine Dupree their card, and like she seems to be like love struck here. She seems to be in love with the Los Lotharios. Max Dupree's not impressed, and he tells Mansois and Massé to get back into modeling. This was funny. I like this, you know. I mean, it doesn't help that they're all bums apart from Max Dupree, but overall, it was a pretty funny segment. I enjoyed it. We then had a 2-on-1 handicap match, Drew versus the Usos, and I've been saying for, like, I forget how long I've been saying, why have we not done this before? Like, in the lead up to Brock versus Reigns, why have we not had the Usos versus Brock in a handicap match? Is it because Brock won't work on TV? You tell me. I just think it's dumb. We should have had Brock versus Usos by now, but we got the Usos versus McIntyre. McIntyre did get some help. Madcap Moss came down and made it a tag team match. I'm not a big fan of Madcap Moss. I thought he was okay when he was hanging around with Corbin and telling jokes and stuff like that, but since him and Corbin have split up, I just think Madcap Moss is very, very bland, you know? I mean, there's no real reason to like the guy. He comes out in black trunks and that's about it. I mean, it's, you know, there's not much to him. Maybe he needs a new character. Maybe he needs something, but at the moment, Madcap Moss doesn't do it for me. Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore on one of the Usos, and they pick up the win, so good win for Drew there. Usos take the L, and yeah, Drew McIntyre then moves on, gets some confidence before Clash of the Castle. Then we move into the main event. It was Gunther and Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. Ludwig Kaiser at ringside. Been pretty good match, back and forth, and it was nice to see this match end SmackDown. It was nice to see the Intercontinental Championship get the main event, along with the promo they did earlier in the night showing the prestigious history of the Intercontinental Championship. It just kind of showed me that they're trying to make the Intercontinental Championship, you know, relevant again, and they're trying to push it as like a main title and not just a title that is going to be held by mid-carders, lower mid-carders, and is just going to feature like in the middle of the show. To me, this Gunther reign has been pretty impressive, and it looks like they're going to try and elevate the title to what it used to be back in the day, and for me, yeah, that would make sense. I mean, if you look at the champions, I mean, they've got two really good champions now, the mid-card titles. You've got Bobby Lashley, US champion, and Gunther, the Intercontinental champion. I mean, two guys that, you know, really, you could see both of them as world champions. So, yeah, no, I'm hoping the future of the US title and Intercontinental championships, you know, they look good. And this was a good match. Gunther finally wins, kicked out of the Shinkasa, finally put away Nakamura with the powerbomb, and he picked up the win to end SmackDown and retain his Intercontinental Championship. So, I mean, overall, it was an okay show. I mean, I didn't think it was great. Main event was good. I liked the fact that the Usos and Drew were mixed up throughout the show. It wasn't just like a one-and-done segment. They were spread throughout the show. We got to see them like multiple times, 4 or 5 times. I thought the Maximum Male Models segment was pretty good. Yeah, no, I mean, Ronda Rousey probably cut the best promo. It was short and sweet, but it was still probably the best promo she's cut in quite a long time. So, yeah, overall, I would say this was an okay SmackDown. I'm going to give it a... I'll give it a... What are we going to give this? We'll give it a 3 out of 10. Aye, 3 out of 10, guys. I'm not going to give it much more than that. Like I said, I thought it was okay. It was okay. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Let us know what you thought down below. Catch you in the next one. Up next, it's got AEW Rampage. So yeah, looking forward to that. We'll see you in the next one. But until then, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. And I'll catch you later. Peace.